What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Bluebird Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. And we got that banger going. So listen, I just watched the final press conference with Anthony Joshua, former unified British heavyweight world champion, and current unified Mexican heavyweight world champion, Ruiz Jr. I just finished watching the press conference. They also did photo ops for, different pictures and different promotions for the fight at the stadium. So when they left the press conference, they went to the stadium to do photos. With that said, Ruiz is wearing the same outfit he wore after the first fight, June 1st, as he got the victory, right? When he got the victory over Anthony Joshua, when you fight at Madison Square Garden always gives the fighters New York Knicks jerseys with their name and their number on it, right? Their own personal jersey with their name and their number, on it. With that said, Ruiz repeated history as he's using mental warfare to get in Anthony Joshua's head. Thus the reason why he wore this outfit. He was asked about this. He said, yeah, it's all mental, right? So he wore the Knicks jersey. It's a mental reminder to Anthony Joshua what took place June 1st, right? So he wore the jersey. He wore the same outfit he had on, and he had the belts with him, obviously, right? Just to remind Anthony Joshua what to expect after he fights December 7th in Saudi Arabia after the fight, right? So it's mental games he's playing with Anthony Joshua. And when they were facing off, he was whispering little things to Anthony Joshua that he's going to repeat, and he's taking the belts back home to to Mexico and to the States, right? So he's trying to play games to get in Anthony Joshua's head, give him little hints and reminders of what took place June 1st, to get Anthony Joshua mentally off his square, right? If you ever saw the movie, I like what he's doing. If you ever saw this movie with Will Smith, and he was a magician, right? Will Smith was a magician, and he was using different tactics as he was, going around, and he was stealing, right? And so what he was doing in the movie was he was using deflection tactics, and he would use symbols and signs, to be successful, right? So there's one particular thing. He was a con artist, right? And so one particular, he was gambling with this guy who was an Asian guy, a rich Asian guy, at a football game, right? But he used all these signs and symbols with the numbers. He used a specific number, and he kept flashing the number at the guy everywhere he went. And so, he knew the guy would ultimately choose that number because the guy was seeing that number everywhere he went all day, right? So at the end, he played a game with the guy. He played a trick on him. He said, listen, I'll bet you all the money I have. If you choose at the football game, you can choose anybody's number, and I'll pick the number. You write the number down, and I'll pick the number that you chose, right? I'll figure it out. And so the guy was like, what? No way. I'll take that. That's too big to pass up. So the guy, he had a certain guy who was familiar. He kept flashing a guy at him, right? The guy would walk past him. He would see the guy in the store. He would see the guy, in the restaurant. He kept he kept making sure this one particular guy was walking past this guy. And so that very same guy was on the football team, right? And wearing a certain number. So the guy took the binoculars, looked down. He saw the guy that he always see at the restaurant, and he always see at all these particular places, right? He didn't know the guy, but the guy just kept, flashing. So he kept, being in his subconscious mind. And so that's the guy, obviously, he looked, that was a familiar face and a familiar number that he's been seeing all day. And so he chose that number because he was familiar with it. And so Will Smith was able to pick it, obviously, and say, listen, this is the number. So the guy was like, no way. The guy was excited, like, oh, man. He had lost a lot of money, but he was still excited because he was like, no way you figured that out. And he had wrote it down. So saying all this to say, Ruiz is using the same tactics. He keep flashing June 1st things at him, the jersey, the belts. He keeps doing stuff to mentally get in Anthony Joshua's head. Because everybody always say that the sport of boxing is 75% mental, 25% physical, and some people say it's 80-20. Some people even say it's 90-10. Depending upon who you ask. But the sport of boxing is all mental. So Andy Ruiz is mentally, trying to get Anthony Joshua off his scale, because he knows that Anthony Joshua is going to, like I told you guys, at the first sign of adversity, at the first sign of trouble, Anthony Joshua is going to revert back to what took place June 1st at Madison Square Garden. So he's flashing symbols and signs at Anthony Joshua to give him a reminder already ahead of the fight. So when Anthony Joshua does it, he's going to second guess himself as soon as Andy Ruiz is having success against him, right? Andy Ruiz lands a big punch. Mentally, Anthony Joshua, he's only human, is going to revert back to what took place June 1st. He's going to say to himself, oh, here we go again. Or he can say, listen, it ain't happening, right? So it depends on which route that Anthony Joshua chooses, right? So it's up to Andy Ruiz to test him mentally. And that's what Andy Ruiz wants to do and is looking to do. So with that said, Andy Ruiz, is playing mind games. And then he was asked about Deontay Wilder. He said Deontay Wilder did what he was supposed to do against Luis Ortiz on November 23rd. Now it's up to me to do what I have to do in this fight. And then so that way we can unify and fight for undisputed. So he said, I'm not thinking about Deontay Wilder right now. I can't think about that fight. I'm not going to talk about it. My focus has to be solely on Anthony Joshua, because this is a huge fight. I got to take care of the task at hand. He said, so, I definitely want the Wilder fight, but he did what he had to do already. Now he's just sitting and waiting. Now I have to do my part, and I have to do what I have to do. So, Andy Ruiz has a plan, and Andy Ruiz is very smart. This lets you know that he has a high ring IQ, because he's doing little things. He's in Saudi Arabia. He didn't have to wear that. He could have worn anything else, right? He purposely did that, and he purposely is whispering sweet nothings to Anthony Joshua's ear, telling Anthony Joshua, I'm taking those belts back to Mexico. Anthony Joshua started laughing and shook his hand. You see what I'm saying? Andy Ruiz didn't start laughing. He did shake his hand and he nodded his head, but he's the one that's initiating the mental part. And so he said that I'm definitely going to be the aggressor. I'm definitely going to push forward. I'm definitely looking for the knockout. I'm going to be the one. I know he's slimmed down and he's going to be looking at box and use the ring, but I'm not going to allow him, though. Best believe I'm going to be the aggressor. So I can't wait for this fight Saturday night, man. I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share this video. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.